Got a busy one today on 100% Hockey with Millard and Shannon. Hope you're enjoying the full episodes on YouTube. You can still catch the podcast in the audio form at your favorite podcast platform, whether it's iHeart or Amazon or Apple.
Or Spotify.
There's all kinds of opportunities.
Podbean.
Podbean. I discovered that like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Podbean's there. Yeah. We got to get our Podbean numbers up.
Podbean.
Yeah.
Like there's a name. Like we're going to try and name something later today. Alec Martinez, 3-time Stanley Cup champion, has a new idea that he's launched, breaking down some tape. He's going to join us in just a little bit, where he walks us through the audience through a goal, and it's brand new. He's just done one goal so far. He's got another one coming. So we're just going to spitball what Marty's doing, and Billy Jaffe's going to join us from the Boston angle.
Alec's become a regular. He's kind of a semi-regular. We might have to change the name of the show.
He's my buddy, but you like talking to Alec. You like talking to Marty.
You like talking to smart people. Mm-hmm. Or more importantly, I like talking to smart people.
Will you call him Marty? Like, have you reached that level of comfort?
No. But even if I don't, I try not to use nicknames. He has a given name for a reason. It was given to him.
He has a idea to take a goal that catches his eye, and then he will break it down with the telestration and walk you through what's happening. And his first one was fascinating. It was a 200-foot goal with a goalie going off the ice for the extra attacker.
Actually, the goalie leaving the ice to me and how they cleared the zone were two fascinating things that they were pertinent to that play. They're not pertinent to every play, but it was well done and discussed. He did a good job. Some
things you will know, and some things you'll be like, oh, that was cool. Yeah. And we all want to learn about the game a little bit more.
So, this goes back to TV 101 and what you want to be able to do when you're doing this kind of stuff is create one or two moments where the viewer says, wow, I didn't know that. And if you can do that twice, and for me on the play that Alec went through, I went wow twice. And so he did a good job. Now there's a couple of things he needs to work on, but that's another story for another day, and that's between me and my pal Alec.
Will you offer that advice when he joins us?
I'll offer some advice. Not all, because I don't want to bury the guy on his first day. Because you know why? Because the viewers are going to bury him before I do.
And he's done it all on his own. Like he and I have talked through some of the editorial stuff, and he's got some help on the technical side with our buddy Rogo. But he's just done it on his own.
Hold on. We don't know who Rogo is.
We'll say who Rogo is. I'll make sure that we recognize Rogo.
But that's you got to remember who you're talking to.
Video coach extraordinaire.
Okay,
Dave Rogowski. We also have Billy Jaffe coming up. I love what Boston's done, because when they sold off last year and missed the playoffs, it looked like it might be a 2 to 3 year hiatus from being in contention. They're right back in it with those pillars that they have within the organization. It's been impressive what Don Sweeney's done to do a reset.
It has. Well, no, now is it a reset? Is it a retool? Is it a rebuild? What is it?
This is not. It's not a rebuild. Retool, reset. I'm going to reset.
I'm going to go into the NHL guide and record book.
Yes,
like our pal Scotty Bowman, and find out where on what page the definition of retool, reset, rebuild is. I got to figure this one out.
I would say San Jose's a rebuild.
What,
Boston's a reset.
Wait a minute, we're putting the final facing on the build, rebuild in San Jose.
No, we're sanding the gyprock. We've done the taping.
We're sanding the gyprock.
We're sanding the gyprock.
Where
or drywall.
Where are you from? Manitoba? The gyprock. Oh my gosh. Oh. I gotta go now.
I know. I don't know where that came from. It used to be gyprock all the time. Now it's drywall.
Yeah, drywall. Everyball knows drywall. Oh my God.
Can you tape though? Can you tape and mud?
What?
Can you mud and tape?
I can go to my bank and pull some money out and get somebody to do it for me.
It's hard, man. It's hard. We'll get to it with Billy Jaffe coming up on 100% Hockey.
That might be your new nickname.
Gyprock
Millard.
I don't mind it.
Hey, Gyprock.
Solid, unless you catch in that one spot, and then I crumble. Back with more right after this.
NHL TV is now on DAZN. Hockey lives here.
Here we go.
Watch every game from every team. The best players in the world. And the coldest plays on ice. Watch up to 4 games at once for the ultimate NHL experience. Sign up now at DAZN.
100% Hockey. The ratings are going to go through the roof this weekend. Not only because we got Billy Jaffe on talking about the Boston Bruins, but everybody's going to be hunkered down. Nothing to do with the big storm blowing through. And so we've got Toronto and we've got Boston. John Shannon, Billy Jaffe, are you guys all ready for Snowmageddon? Jaffe?
No, I'm not.
You're running out of time.
Well, we have until Sunday afternoon for it to begin. And so we've already done the shopping. Wife and I did that yesterday. And because we have a 15-year-old growing boy who, eats 17 meals a day. So we had to load up on that. And then the snowblower is ready. I've got the gas, but the garage, one half of the garage is meticulous. The other half is like a junkyard in the sense of I need to clean it out to get it ready to put the other car in there. So it's going to be a fun, interesting day. And nobody in this household is more excited than Super Cooper, the wonder golden retriever, who is waiting to run laps in the 12-inch plus snow coming this way.
Shannon, is your snowblower ready?
Oh, no, we've been going for a while now. So we're like, this is like mid-season form for us. My biggest mistake today, though, is I'm always ready for these things. We have enough food in this house. And we always prepare that there's going to be some sort of national emergency. So there's enough food like to feed the Swiss Army here. My problem today is I volunteered to go to Costco.
Miserable.
I don't know why. I don't know why I did it, but I volunteered to go to Costco. So as soon as we
buddy.
as soon as we finish here, I'm going to the $700 club. And if I do get out alive, I might text both of you saying I made it home. So
I'm just glad you don't have to feed Denmark's army. That's a different story.
No, the Danes don't eat; they just drink coffee. That's all they do. We had the Danes over. My wife's Danish. We had 3 couples over at the house last summer for 12 days. I went through.
You had people in your house for 12 days?
Don't get me started.
I don't want my family in the house for 12 days.
Yeah, 12 minutes sometimes.
We went through 42 sleeves of Nespresso coffee. 42 sleeves. That's 420 pods of coffee. I mean, I drink a lot of coffee. I like coffee. I drink coffee. It doesn't matter what time of day. These people were saying, well, I'm going to bed. I'll just have a cup of coffee before I go to bed. So, oh my God, it's unbelievable.
How much toilet paper you had to go through too then?
No, that's not a problem because that's on the first list for the Swiss Army. So, so that is never a problem. Billy, if you came to our house and said, John, I'm sorry, but you can't leave the house. And you are stuck in isolation. We're going to put an ankle bracelet on you, and you have to live here 6 months without leaving. I'd never have to go to the store.
I love it.
I'd never have to go to the store.
I know where I'm going.
But you know what? I volunteered to go to Costco today.
I thought you got smarter with age. What's happened to him, Millard?
No,
you're supposed to get more older and wiser.
No, just better looking. That's all. But I'm much more likable, Billy.
Giving advice with John is a one-way street, Jaffe. You know that. I don't tell him stuff.
Oh, I just get ripped.
What was the old saying? Nobody puts baby in the corner. Nobody tells Shanny.
No. We've both done those shows, sometimes together.
What are you thinking? Okay, let me tell you what I think.
No, this is what you're going to think.
Yeah, let me tell you what you're thinking.
Enough about you. Let's talk about me.
That's like the famous Harold Ballard line. If I want your opinion, I'll give it to you.
Yes. We don't need to talk about hockey. We've got 28 more minutes of just giving it to Shanny right now. This is cathartic.
You get to leave. I have to stay. That's not good for me.
I am so used to this.
Oh, good stuff. Good.
Jaffe,
yes,
are you surprised that Boston's in a playoff spot, given where they were a year ago at this time period?
A year ago? How about 10 games into the season?
Okay. You can look it up. Not that you're going to. Said at the beginning of the year, Daren, the best that the Bruins probably would do this year is battle for the last wild card spot, a seed, right? That would be a really good season. They've had a really good season so far. Long way to go still. We don't think that there is because we've played so many damn games and nobody can think straight and everybody's hurt, right? But the Bruins have had one thing consistently all year. They've had some bad runs, like a lot of the league. They've had a work ethic that we did not see enough of at all last year. Now, there was a real demoralizing year for many reasons. Don't need to rehash it. But this year, their work ethic and dedication to trying to play the right way hasn't always happened, has been spectacular. Great group of guys. With all that said, am I surprised? No. Will I be very pleasantly surprised if they work their way into a playoff? I'll be impressed as heck. I'll be happy for them. A little bit, not surprised, but I'll say this is where I thought they could be. If they get into the top, let's say 3 in the Atlantic, then I'd say I'd be surprised. I would. I'd be really freaking impressed with how they've done. They've been a fun group to cover this year, and I give Marco Sturm and Don Sweeney, because he brought in a lot of these players, made a lot of trades last year that brought in certain players as well that have really paid dividends for him. Long way to go, though, for them to be considered a very good team, but they are a very, very good group of guys.
And so much, I would assume, has because Jeremy Swayman's back to being Jeremy Swayman, right?
Doesn't hurt. I mean, that's, absolutely, Shanny. He had to get back to being top 10 in the league, and he has done that outside of just a couple of games. His reads have been excellent. His focus, awesome. Not having many pucks go through him at all. Really, really, it's obvious. Great teams or good teams need to have very good, if not great, goaltending. It's like, they're not good enough yet where their goaltending can be just pretty darn good or good enough for that squad. They're going to need their goaltenders to save them at times. And last couple of weeks, 2 weeks now, Jonas Korpisalo, he's won 4 in a row. Mm-hmm. He struggled mightily for a couple. Love the guy's attitude, but he needed to have some bounce back, and he has had some bounce back. So I don't know where they're at today. Forgive me for not checking the stats, but their team goals against average is now it's 8%. It's pretty good, it's especially compared to last year.
So why did they go with the reset instead of the rebuild? Because it looked like it was teetering on the ladder.
I don't think. I think they felt they had too many players in their prime, Daren, that the Pastas, the McAvoys, the Hampus Lindholm, and then the players that they had brought in from last year, Zadorov and Elias Lindholm, and I'm missing some others too, but I think they felt a rebuild, teardown, man, that would take years. We've seen it with some other teams. We don't need to go through the whole litany of some of those teams that are looking decent this year to very good, most of them, but how many years has it taken them to get there? Mm-hmm. And I don't think that they could afford to do that with certain players in their prime without getting rid of them. Because, David Pastrnak last year, maybe, I don't say a little hyperbole here, but he easily could have gotten, and I said this publicly last year, easily could have gotten MVP votes last year for what he did as a player without all those others around him, with the injuries, with the mental kind of, oh no, what's going on in Boston type thing the last third of the year. He was fantastic. Are you going to take 5 years of a rebuild and waste his prime 5 years? and not have other guys around him. Now, to their credit, they, and Marco Sturm said this, Daren, from day one when he came in. We don't have the high-end skill, meaning throughout the lineup like some other teams, but we're going to work our butts off. We're going to do this, that. And it's come to fruition. They got to add some more talent, but that's why if they had wasted him and McAvoy, et cetera, it'd be a long time, I think, for these guys to get back to where they wanted to be.
When you talk about adding talent, I mean, the Bruins were reportedly in on Rasmus Anderson heavily. Obviously, by being able to talk to him, they wanted to get him committed long term. That didn't happen, so the trade didn't happen.
Yeah.
But how does that affect the guys who are named potentially going back? Do you ever people think about
that all the time? Yeah, all the time.
And so I mean, Lowry was one of those guys that was on that list of potential trading partners. How do you think it affects a guy like that?
Andrew Raycroft, my dear friend, you guys know him well. He and I do our morning brew at Jaffe and Razor show. We talked exactly about that. And I asked him from a former player position standpoint how he thinks that positions a guy like Lowry. And by the way, Lowry, with the rumors swirling around Saturday night in Chicago, had a couple of goals and maybe one of it, not just offensively, but overall had one of his best games. Maybe that sparked him in a way too. And I said, listen, you got a guy here with a lot of uncertainty now. And the point he made was, he said, yeah, but, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, these kind of rumors are always more difficult on veteran guys that have families, that have, that have a lot more going on. And Lowry, being a younger guy, single guy, never having gone through it, I'm guessing some of the veterans haven't had a chance to talk to him due to scheduling, that's been so crazy this year. But I'm guessing guys talked to him and said, control what you can control. Don't worry about a thing. And, all the cliches, don't worry about it. Play your game, etc. I'm guessing that's what happened. He's looked good, John, since the whole rumors. And then even since the deal came to fruition, it didn't involve him. It would have been a big deal, literally, for Boston and for Calgary. And if he's part of it, maybe somebody else tells him, hey, or tells a player in that position, hey, listen, if you're that guy that they want back, think about how much they want you back too. Like that's a nice feather in your cap as well.
So Boston's a buyer going up to either the Olympic trade freeze or the trade deadline?
A buyer, how's this, Daren? A buyer with purpose. They are not a rental buyer. They are not. I would be shocked if they go out and rent anybody.
Well, they could have had Anderson as a rental.
Therefore, they didn't do it.
Right.
They didn't do it. If the reports are accurate, and I say if, and when I say I think they are, I wasn't on those calls and all that stuff, but let's assume that they're all accurate or 98% accurate. As soon as the Bruins heard that he wasn't signing an extension, they supposedly backed out. They don't want a rental. They can't afford. They got bad last year with a purpose. Some great trades. The one that jumps out, it gets a lot of the attention right now, is the Fraser Minton one from Toronto with the draft pick for Brandon Carlo, right?
Yep.
Just a fantastic get back for the Bruins for what they needed. To go out now and to take the assets that they did not have before. They had very little draft capital before. Now they've got 2 first-rounders this year, 2 first-rounders next year. To go out and take one of those to just get into the playoffs and to quote-unquote see what happens is not in their – I don't think it's in their hockey mindset this year, Daren. I think that they are a buyer with purpose. If they can find somebody with term, they will make a big hockey deal.
But it's so wide open, Billy.
I don't disagree, but I think you also have to be realistic. I think you've got to look and see, okay, they're a nice team to a very good team to a very good story. Are they ready to – I just don't know if they're ready to go in a 7-game series against a Tampa, against the Carolina. As much as it is wide open, I think you've got to have that. If this is a retool, not a rebuild, there's still term in a retool, Daren. It's not like you just turn it up and say, oh, it's retooled in one season. I think if they make a real good deal, whether it's this end of season or over the summer, and use some of that draft capital that they've accrued, I think they're in a good spot. They've also got a couple of players that could be attractive to other teams. come trade deadline time where they could get even more assets back. So they're not in a bad spot at all, at least in my take right now, fellas.
Hard to imagine a team that quote unquote is in, what'd you call it, Daren, a retool? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could have 100 points. Could have 100 points. They could have 100 points. Because it looks like to me that all 8 teams going to the playoffs in the East will have 100 points again, like a couple of years back.
Is that the trend? I haven't checked since.
Well, I'm just listen. The Bruins have 31 games left.
Yeah,
and they got 60 points. If they play, at the same winning percentage they have now, which is .588, so almost 2/3, they're going to be 99, 100 points. It's crazy.
It is.
Crazy compared to where they finished last year.
Well, that's part of it. So that was actually my next question. Which is a better story right now of a team resurging? And they're the 2 teams that hold the last 2 wild card spots in the East, and that's Buffalo or Boston.
Okay, come on. I mean, Buffalo has been non-existent for the last, 14 years?
But is that what it is? This is basically the same talent, though. This is the same talent that they've had for the last 3 or 4 years that, finally is...
They finally have grown up. They finally...
That's rebuilds, by the way.
That's a rebuild?
Okay. That's not a rebuild. That's a gut job.
Oh, yeah.
That is that's down to the studs numerous times. And then that is a full thrust rebuild there. A better story, if you're talking from year to year, it's the Bruins.
Right.
If you're talking finally getting to where they should be, meaning at least contending with all the talent they've had there, it's the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah. When you look at what the Bruins have done, and maybe we're giving too much credit, all of us, not just you, but we're giving too much credit to Marco Sturm. But there is something really impressive about what the Bruins have done.
Marco is a great communicator, and the biggest part of being a head coach in the NHL is how do you get through to 23 independent contractors to get through to their need for, some guys need a lot of attention, some don't. Some guys need a hug, some guys need to be yelled at. But they all got to believe in you. And since day one, Shanny, Marco's reputation, his personality, his ability to say, I played, if you combine regular season and postseason, I'm going to say it's close to 1,000 games or just over 1,000 games in the league. He's old enough to be a guy that the young guys look up to and say, he's older. He's young enough for the old guys to say, he's kind of he was recently playing. Mm-hmm. He gets it. It's a simple way to play. It is not sexy in the neutral zone. It almost looks like a 1-4, but it's a 1-2-2, deeper 1-2-2. It wasn't easy early on, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but what I'm saying is Marco's ability to get through to these guys has been a major factor, and his patience, because there was a little while, my friend, where it didn't look pretty, where they were still having a hard time, especially on what we call the end zone switches from low to high, when they go from a zone to a man-to-man from mid-upper circles on, which I'd say, would you guys agree about 70%, if not 80% of the league is playing now, pretty much the hybrid coverage in the D zone?
Turn your mic on again, Daren. You keep turning your mic off.
We'll take a break and we'll come back more with Billy Jaffe as we continue on 100% Hockey with Millard and Shannon.
Car shopping should be exciting, not exhausting. That's where Car Gurus comes in. They have advanced search tools, unbiased deal ratings, and price history, so you know a great deal when you see one. It's no wonder that Car Gurus is the #1 rated car shopping app in Canada. When you're car shopping on your phone, it shouldn't be a maze. You need to see all the information. With the Car Gurus app, you can. Powerful search tools that you see deal ratings, price history, and dealer reviews on listings all in one place. And you can turn on real-time price drop alerts so you never miss a great deal. Car Gurus connects you with trusted dealerships when you're ready, ensuring a transparent, hassle-free buying process. Buy your next car today at cargurus.ca. Make sure your deal is the best deal. That's cargurus.ca. cargurus.ca.
Continuing on 100% Hockey on all the podcast platforms, YouTube, we get to look at Billy Jaffe's great face. One of the greatest goaltenders in Michigan history joining us on 100% Hockey. Do you know that, Shanny?
I was around.
Yeah.
I was around when
my
our
stats were so bad.
When our pal Doug McLean thought Jaffe, who did play in one of the great hockey programs in U.S. college history, still is, thought Jaffe was a goaltender.
That's how bad my stat line was.
But here's the funny thing is Jaffe let it go for a long time. Like didn't even correct him. Like for
Why
months.
Why correct him? I mean, come on.
What's the old saying, Millard? I'll give you enough leash just to
Yeah.
And Doug just was so sure of things. Oh yeah.
I think he argued with you.
Oh, he did. Yes, he did. We sat on the panel at Sportsnet. Oh, yeah. And you know, as a former goalie. Yes, Doug.
I think Doug probably claimed he scouted you.
Oh, yeah. Notice, though, he was so proud that I didn't sign you or recruit you. How is Doug doing?
Well, he's going to be on soon. So he's going to be on soon. So
tell him the goalie says hi. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Hey, by the way, as a college guy,
yep.
And the guy who still studies a little bit of it and observes it, how would you rate the success of the NCAA season this year? Because there was so much hype early on with the McKenna stuff and everything, and you know it's I'm not sure where it is now. Are you,
John? Lame answer. I don't know either, but I'm going to tell you this. Like, I do a lot of Hockey East games. A lot. I'll probably do 8 to 10 games this year in the Hockey East. It's not as good a year this year in Hockey East. Now we're seeing a really good year in the Midwest. The Michigans, Michigan States, Western Michigan,
sure. They're
doing very well. Denver's still excellent. What a program DU has put together in the last decade or 2 decades. I think there's so much uncertainty. These players that are getting recruited in season, not just for next year, but in season to come over, it's changed the mindset. It's changed how coaches and recruiters go out about doing things. And I think the ripple effect is not going to be known for a couple of years to where we're going to be able to sit and say the game is either better, worse, or it hasn't changed when it's all said and done. The amount of players that are coming in, though, it's crazy that you never thought you'd have access to. Is it better this year in my eyes? No. But is it worse? No, it's just different. And I can't give you that analysis yet because I haven't seen how it's played out for multiple years.
You do know that there are as many former NCAA players have migrated to the CHL as there is CHL players migrated to the NCAA.
100%. Hey, John, where I'm at in Boston, in greater Boston, there's a plethora of players that left playing, whether it was going to prep schools, right, whether it was going to not so much academies, or they were going to go, to one of the other junior leagues, and they've gone to the Q. That's where 99% of our players go to. Sure. Some of them have had some great success. Some have come back and left their schools and now are playing in the USHL or the North American League. The landscape, the perspective, and the vision of, every player now here, John and Daren, thinks, if I'm good, I've got to leave by 16. 17 to late, I've got to leave here. So now the movement is going to be even crazier than what we've had before. But I got to give it about 3 years or one full 4-year cycle to see if it's better, worse, or the same.
Or sustainable. Or when you consider the money that is being thrown out, because NCAA programs, and you know this better than we do, NCAA programs live on college football, college basketball. And they support all the other programs, including a lot of places hockey. And now,
we're going to see the haves and the have-nots even more.
Right.
College programs are living on donors for NIL. And that is going, how is the appetite for that going to be? I think you're going to have 8 to 10 schools that are going to bring it, always, because they've got it. They might be football and basketball schools, but they're also high donor schools. Mm-hmm. And then I think you're going to have a group. I think there's, I don't remember, 62 teams, I think, this year in the NCAA. There's going to be a group of schools that don't have it, or they can maybe give you a few $1,000 instead of $50,000 or $30,000 to a kid. One other thing that's changing, and since we're off tangent of NHL here, or on a tangent, I don't know, and Daren, you may have seen this too. And I'm not saying you wouldn't see it, John, but this may be out of your vision. The U.S. program just came out with their official National Development League that they're starting, not next year, the year after, that is going to change the landscape of 15 to 17-year-old players, or at least they hope it does, to become this National Developmental League. To, instead of having kids go off, they stay with this one team, and it's going to be 30 teams around the country that get awarded these. We'll call them franchises. It's a whole, you can go online and you can read it, but I heard about it about 10 weeks ago, saw some stuff, and then it came to fruition officially in just the last week, and you're like, holy smokes, what's this going to do now to the landscape of hockey? Because this is not just, I got to take John and Daren because they live here. They're going to take kids, they can take kids from geographically, there's no boundaries where they can bring them in. It's fascinating and a little concerning at the same time.
What does that do to the USHL?
Great question. What does it do? What,
not a little younger though, right? USHL.
Well, 17 years old.
Right. Is it going to, well, but it may bring that down, or do the still creme de la creme go to the USHL at that level, but all the other top level kids go there? What is it? Are they trying to, what does it do to high school and prep school hockey, which it's still there, but it's not like it used to be in the old days, right? What does it do to other programs? Because there's so many questions to this thing that are unanswered. So again, tangent off, done, but it's crazy, man.
Yeah, because I'm a sports fan, so I watch from afar what's happened in college football, what's happened in college basketball, and I don't necessarily like it. I understand it, I respect it. I don't necessarily like it. And now I'm concerned that we're going to see if we haven't already, a similar tact taken on so many different levels of hockey.
You will.
Where, you wonder how sustainable it is. You really do. It's now, maybe I'm just a dinosaur and like the old system where I knew where players were coming from and they had two options, and then the draft was the draft. But you have to me, it's one of the strangest things you've seen that happens on the fly right now is how this is all changing.
It is, no question. And college kids are going to continue to get older. I mean, you have to be 20 now to go to college, if not 21 as a freshman. What I'm curious to see is how this whole CHL, NCAA thing, do the top guys still go to college at 18? I know they did this year. I know the McKennas, et cetera, came in young. But now if they see what happens when you're 17, and if you're not Macklin Celebrini or the other special player, and you're playing against these 24-year-old men, and I mean men, those 6-7 years are a huge difference. Mm-hmm. If you don't improve your stock as much as you could by still staying in the CHL, I don't know if they're going to keep doing it. There's so many questions. And I think there's going to be, let's see which teams end up going to the NCAA this year, Final Four, Frozen Four this year and next year. And let's see if they're loaded. They're usually loaded with older players. It helps. But let's see where those players are from. And we'll see how that works.
And other than the money, has this been a good year for McKenna to go to Penn State?
I don't know if it's been great. Has it been good? I think it's probably maybe a teeny bit better than some people are giving it credit or saying, only because this is a big challenge. Now, does it, if he doesn't get picked first, does that end his hockey career? Rhetorically asking. No, but maybe, you know what, John, Daren, maybe in 3 years, this experience of adversity, right, is okay. And it says, let's see. I'm not enough. I have so much respect for scouts. I know both of you know so many of them so well. They see these little things in players' games, both physically and mentally, that you wonder, like the good ones, obviously, how do they see it? They're just watching. I'm assuming that these guys are looking at him, and the minutia of his game hasn't been sexy at times. But if this leads him to being a better player in a few years, there might be a scout at Forest says, let's take this kid. He's still got enough special talent. We can work with him to make him a hell of a player. That's my guess. No, I think it's been okay. I think it's been good for him. I do. It hasn't been perfect. Everybody wanted to see him be Macklin Celebrini. You know what we're learning by watching San Jose this year and Macklin Celebrini?
There's only one Macklin Celebrini.
There's only one, right? Exactly. He was unbelievable, fellas, when I covered him at BU that year. Unbelievable. It was like, and Jay Pandolfo, who you guys both know, is a smart, awesome hockey guy. And he would tell me all the time, like, this kid's, the way he thinks the game at his level. And I would go to practice a few times and watch it. And he says, he's so mature. He's so beyond his years. And to see him accelerate from last year to this year in the NHL, doing what he's doing, is off the charts.
Back to the National Hockey League. Who's the best team in the East? Tampa.
Oh, that was quick. That was quick.
I don't know how they're not. But doing it without what they have in their lineup. I think when it's all said and done, Tampa's the team to beat. I do. I like Carolina.
Carolina is Carolina. They have the same. They have the same foibles. They always have.
Every year.
They always have. And right now,
yes. And
right now they're riding Bussy, and good for them. And he's been spectacular, but he hasn't been in the Stanley Cup playoffs yet.
I'm waiting for their social media to take a picture of Bussy driving a bus. Literally Bussy will be driving the Bussy, or Bussy will be the Bussy. I'm waiting for that, because that's what every NHLer calls, hey, Bussy, when you walk in and you see the driver there. It's awesome. I'm just waiting. It's a great story. I'm with you. It's the same exact, to me, team. Do they get better? We'll see. I just think when it's all said and done, Daren, Tampa Bay's style, their substance, their high-end skill, their high-end goaltending, and again, doing what they're doing with guys, and I guess the one caveat you could say is, well, can some of these guys that are playing above keep this up come playoff time? Maybe they don't have to if or when they get their whole lineup back. It's been spectacularly impressive.
And Carolina, it's better to be driving the bus than be tossed under the bus, which we've all been.
Well, we only do that when they get eliminated too early in the playoffs. That's when we throw them under the bus.
Let me ask you guys real quick. I know we got to go.
We don't have to go. Team? Yeah, hey, we don't have to go.
I thought you had another guest, and I don't want to take anybody's time.
This is Billy Pashaw.
Oh. So who's Pashaw? I'll take things I didn't expect to hear for 500, Alex. Who's the next best team after Carolina in that division?
In that division? Islanders. Nobody's talked about the Islanders. They've talked about Matthew Schaefer, but not the Islanders.
Have you seen Pittsburgh play of late?
That's why I'm asking you. They've been. So who's? How about that game?
Well, listen. The only thing more impressive than three goals in 57 seconds or whatever it was is 3 goals in 37 seconds.
The win in Edmonton.
Yeah. And
only one of the 2 goalies played, right? Sorry to interrupt. Was that right? They didn't play against each other last night?
No, Skinner was given the night off. He played in Calgary the night before, and Arthur Sheelos was very good.
So who's better? Like, the reason I was asking you guys is because I look at that division, and I'm very impressed with what the Islanders have done beyond Schaefer, but what a player. And then I was actually thinking of Coach of the Year stuff driving home last night. And I'm like, well, how does Muse in Pittsburgh not get recognition? How does Patrick Waugh on the island not get recognition? How does John Cooper not get major credit for being this?
Oh, Coop doesn't get credit. He's not allowed to be voted for Coach of the Year. We've established that in the history of the Jack Adams
Todd McClellan?
What about Todd McClellan? Right. What about go to the West? I mean, you've got Joe Quenneville with Anaheim if they end up in a top 2. I'm just saying. My point is though. So I was thinking about the Metro.
We always forget that.
We always forget about Ben. Well, he's like
the guy who's not going to get much is John Hines in Minnesota. Okay. But they're going to look at John Hines and say, well, heck, Quinn Hughes, Faber, those 2 Swedish goaltenders, Kaprizov. I could coach that team.
Well, Cooper should win it this year. Like right now, Cooper should win it.
Right. So just, there's a long way. And I was getting back to, I was thinking about I was not in preparation for this because I didn't know where we were going to go, obviously, at all. But I was thinking about the Metro, like who's no, just like my broadcast, just watch him. I just think that, like, we know that Carolina is the best team in the Metro, but then I'm like, of those other teams, who is really the best of those other teams? You know, I know Washington is really struggling. Are they going to get better? Are they not? Carberry was an awesome coach last year. It's not like he has changed, but the team has changed. So who's that next best team? Just, again, rhetorically asking. It's a hard year to figure some things out. The depth in the East, obvious statement, significantly better than the West, but the West has the best, probably 3 of the top 4 teams in it.
And that's why I wondered about Don's plan coming up to the trade deadline with it so open.
Yeah, but
look at some things, but I love your answer. Right. I loved your answer.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought his answer was okay.
It was likable.
It was a likable answer. But the thing is,
I miss going for coffee with you.
Well, what we got to do is go to Shannon's house, obviously. We can just go there together and live there.
By the way, there's lots of coffee.
How many rooms? Do Billy and I have to?
You could have your own rooms. You could have your own room.
I was told by John, I think he gets up every morning. I don't know if he's still doing it. Goes to the local coffee establishment, gets one for him and his wife.
Yes.
Very nice. But I think he finishes his and is on to his 3rd or 4th by the time I could have some timers going here before his wife finishes her first, if I remember correctly.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Get the snowblower going.
And my wife is still in bed drinking her coffee and having her, toasted bagel.
Can't wait for that,
nice.
Billy. We'll have coffee waiting for us.
Listen, let's do it. Millard, I miss you too, buddy. Shanny, I always, we text a little more. Daren, phenomenal to see you. I'm glad that you're okay after the Bruins holding on to beat your Vegas Golden Knights.
Just provide some motivation for Toronto tonight.
What a game that's going to be. By the way, I'll end it with this. Was Mitch Marner looking ahead? And I don't mean, do you think he was wrapped? Because Eichel was spectacular last night. The kid, can I ask you guys this? Is there who's a better skater, forward skater than Jack Eichel? Like, meaning to watch him skate and the flow.
And he never takes strides.
Ever.
He doesn't speed without striding.
He's Jean Beliveau.
It is beautiful. Marner, all kidding aside, I didn't notice him last night. Did you, Daren? I didn't.
Notice him a little bit more.
In the third, a little.
But they were not good for 2 periods. So there was a lot of that last night. And then the third period, they turned it on. Just one goal game.
Eichel was spectacular. I've known him for a long time, and he was off the chart. I wonder how Mitch takes it tonight. What a interesting game that will be to watch tonight.
It's going to be fun. Yeah. And then we're going to get a hockey game.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Good to see you, Billy. Be good. Be safe.
All right, guys. I'm going to go get a strong coffee now. See for myself.
I'll get another one.
With the NHL app, you can listen to every NHL game right from your phone. And with home and away broadcast feeds, you choose your way to listen.
And he scores!
Whether you're at work, at the gym, or stuck in traffic, the NHL app puts you right in the action all season long. Every team, every game, everywhere you go. Download the NHL app and never miss a moment.
What I really want you to look at is Noah Hannafin here. And you really see that he sees this opportunity to get on his feet, or get his feet going, excuse me. And look at all this space that he sees. Again, like I said earlier, he knows it's a delayed call, that there's an opportunity to generate a little bit of offense, but he does a really good job of moving his feet. And what that does is push these 2 Columbus defenders back.
That's the voice of Alec Martinez, 3-time Stanley Cup champion, who has a new offering on social media, and he joins us now on 100% Hockey with Millard and Shannon. You can follow him on X at @Martinez_27. So you're breaking down some video. Where did this come from?
Well, I kind of had the idea I've been toying with. I had that basically notes app version of a post. I don't think I've posted in about 10 years. And then all of a sudden I just slap an entire novel down. But it was kind of what I said. I've had an opportunity to watch more hockey now, just more as a fan and not as an active player, and then doing some broadcasting with you. And I kind of had this idea, and I mentioned the football guys that do it, and something that I've always enjoyed. And I could be totally wrong, as I mentioned earlier. I haven't made a post in 10 years or whatever, and so I'm not the most social, or I guess the social media active person. I'm not entirely inept, but I'm not very active either. So I was not really aware of anyone that was doing this. I'm sure that there are people out there, but it's kind of an experiment to see if people liked it or not. And, I've gotten some good reception so far.
See, one of the key things in all this, Alec, is because when I went on and watched it, I thought, well, that's kind of cool. Over there is kind of cool. And then by the end of it, the first thing I did was I checked how long it took you, because, and it was just over 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's really the double-edged sword in this side of the business you're getting into, is now to be able to create this kind of content, be efficient with your time, and say, here's the story I want to tell, and here's the analysis I want to do, without wasting people's time. Because trust me, people get bored really quickly. And if you don't engage them quickly, they'll just turn it off and never come back. So that will be the biggest challenge, because you won't get 6 minutes sitting on the desk with Daren on a VGK game. You won't.
But that's the advantage, is you do get the 6 minutes.
Right, but there's a really fine line between being efficient with it or just droning on. Because when you do build the content now, because it was really good content, mm-hmm. There's one person that can decide whether he likes it or not, and that's the consumer. That's the consumer,
the viewer.
Yeah,
the viewer.
Yeah, so that will be, and you'll get better with it with time. When you're more comfortable with the technology you're using, how you're using it, the stories you're telling. Not every goal you're going to do is a 180-foot goal. So it's going to be different. But I mean, to me, it was a good revelation on what happens with 5 skaters. In fact, 6 skaters. When you get an opportunity to go from one end of the ice to the other. I don't say this very often, but I enjoyed it.
Well, that's good, because based on everything you said before, it kind of sounded like you didn't.
Well, no, because I'm a real believer in the one thing you and I can always argue about is comparing our game to football. Our football, our team, our game isn't an X's and O's sport from a television perspective. We're built we should be built from a broadcast perspective. Daren's heard this 50 million times. We should be exploiting personalities of people. We should be telling stories about people rather than plays, because everybody understands people. Not everybody understands plays. But that side, I enjoyed it. So if you can get me on that page, then we're doing okay.
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point too. That and that's kind of one of my, I guess, something that I had thought about, and one of my goals in this is that, it is very different than football. It's not nearly as scripted. I mean, really, the only, maybe you have a set play here and there off of a face-off, maybe on the power play every once in a while if you're trying to exploit, someone's PK tendency. But that's kind of what I wanted to get at, is that, the game of hockey is very fluid. It's very reactionary. Like I said before, it's not scripted. So that's why I thought if I could kind of bring light to some of the talent in the league, that, it's a hard game to play. There's a lot of reads to be made. There's timing. You have to be smart. You have to be have good hockey IQ. You have to have, great skills and anticipation and things like that. So, why I guess I wasn't necessarily comparing it to football, but I was comparing it to the people who do that for football. So like, am I going to sit down and break down each individual play? Like, no, but if I can provide some context and kind of like what you said, some story as to why something happened or why someone reacted a certain way or why, with this particular goal that I did first, like why was there so much space? Well, there was a lot of things that happened because hockey is such a fluid game that allowed this space for the play to be made. But
and by the way, if you can answer the question why every time, you will succeed.
Yeah, and back to your length thing, that's something that I struggled with too, and I think I'll continue to struggle with this. And whether someone wants to watch the entirety of it, that's something that I'll figure out. I mean, it is hard. Truth be told, I just recorded another one last night. And that was something that I ended up cutting out probably 2 minutes, and it's still long, but it's hard because there's certain things that I want to get across. So I don't know. I've done one, I guess like 1.5. I've gotten some like pretty good feedback on Twitter. And while I can't read everything, there's a few things like I messed up. I guess it was Severson and not Werenski. But it's also like, hey, bear with me here. Like I'm doing this on a Windows computer. I haven't used Windows since I was 20 years ago in college, and also like, I know I live in LA, but like, please don't expect Hollywood production value here. Like and
you're doing it yourself, right?
I'm doing it all myself. Like it's not sitting behind a paywall. So like, don't expect to don't expect to like show up to like AMC movie theater and you see an action shot and an opening credits and ending credit. Like this is very, truthfully right now, this is an experiment for me.
I tell you what, the circle wipe with you in the corner was cool.
Yeah, I said the same thing, John.
When I watched it last night, I'm thinking, how do we do the circle? I got to figure out how to do the circle wipe.
Well, I have to give a shout out to Vegas video coach Dave Rogowski. I mean, he's been really helpful in all this, and he's given me a lot of feedback, as you have to Daren, and then now you, John, and even beforehand when I kind of floated the idea to you guys. But yeah, Dave has been awesome, and he's helped me just from some of the technical side of things and figuring out programs that work and ways to do it. And we brainstormed a little bit, but like I mentioned earlier, like this is a landscape that I'm very unfamiliar with. So I guess for the beginning, I'm happy with the reception that it's had, and if people continue to enjoy it, then maybe I can continue to do it, or maybe people don't want to hear it and I stop. So it's just something that I can do in retirement to try to showcase some talent in the league. That was my big sticking point. That there's a lot of talent in the NHL that doesn't necessarily show up on the score sheet or in skating, passing, shooting, stick handling. There's a lot that goes into the game, back to what we were talking about with the fluidity and all that. And so if I can at least educate a little bit and just create a little bit more of an appreciation for the game of hockey, like it's only going to help. So, I don't know, I guess it's been fun so far, even though I've done literally one, but
I like the fact that you're not defaulting to the rush breakaway play or the one-time power play. There's a lot of nuance into the behind the scenes of just a third goal in a 7-goal game.
Right. And that's the other thing too, is that like you can go on NHL.com and you can watch the top plays of the week and you can watch all that stuff, and that's where, I'd like, as a player, I guess I I prided myself in doing things the right way and playing the game the right way. And that's not anything that I generated. That was just something that was harped on me and harped on me and harped on me throughout my career, especially at the beginning in LA. And I'm not saying I always did things the right way, and I know I didn't, but I feel like there's so many guys in the league that do that don't get the credit for it. And I'm not going to say that I'm not going to talk about superstars, because they show up in those highlights all the time. But if I can, perhaps maybe it's a superstar that has scored the goal or set up the goal, but there might have been, a lesser known guy or like I call them ditch diggers, like the world needs ditch diggers too. If there's something that someone did 200 feet away and allowed this superstar to make, this goal happen, then, I mean, that's how hockey works, right? That's how good teams are good teams. It's not just superstars carrying the load all the time. It's those other guys. So if I can give them a little bit of props, that's kind of my goal.
As you call them ditch diggers, I say every army needs soldiers. So you can't have all generals.
Yeah. Same analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, who's the soldier and who's the general in this group? Shannon?
In that goal?
No, in our group. Shannon's the general. Marty would be a lieutenant. I guess I'm the soldier.
Are you kidding me? I'm the grunt. I'm the private. I got the one stripe on there, and that's it. I just rolled out of boot camp. I might actually still be in boot camp. I'm not like clearly I'm in. I mean, John, based on the lecture he gave me earlier, like I'm clearly at the bottom of the totem pole.
Alec, if you think that's a lecture.
No, I'm obviously like, I really do appreciate the feedback. And it's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
So let me ask you, how
you guys have been around a hell of a lot longer than I have doing this stuff.
How do we watch it? Are you on YouTube or where are you?
So that's like another thing that I didn't really know what to do right now. I'm on Twitter. I provided a link in Instagram. I don't really know. Again, I'm very new to this. I have to figure out, what platforms I want to be on, if I want to do all of them or if I want to do just some of them. But for right now, I'll probably just stick to Twitter or X, in terms of the videos, just to see if it gains any traction, if people enjoy it. And then, down the road, if I don't even know how this works, like a YouTube channel, like I really don't know how this works. So I'm probably in dire need of someone that knows all this stuff to tell me like what I need to do. But again, it's just it's in its infant stages, and it's an experiment.
We need a title too. I know we've thrown around some headlines.
Yeah, we do. We need a title, a logo.
Yeah.
I need a little bit of production value, kind of like at the beginning of like fading me into this podcast. Like
that was pretty cool though, what you did to come in.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, but again, maybe I'll have to upgrade my Windows. Maybe I'll have to upgrade my computer at some point. But that was the other thing. Like some people were like a couple notes for that I needed a microphone. Well, again, like I'm just trying to see if people like this. So maybe I'll get it. I mean, I'm not going to get an actual microphone and, like I see the one of like recording artists with the circle and all that, but I don't know, maybe I'll figure out something in that regard. But again, this is just, I mean, it's lucky that I didn't film this on like my iPad mini from like 10 years ago. Like, I don't know. I'm just cut me a little slack here is all I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have 34,000 views on X as of today.
Well, that's pretty sweet. I should have more. I texted Daren this. Again, back to, not being on social media very much. I accidentally deleted my first post. So I think my numbers are actually higher, but And I was so mad. I looked at my wife and I was just like, I'm such an idiot, like I wanted to just tweak. I put Riley Smith goal versus CBJ, and I wanted to say Riley Smith breakdown goal. So I changed it, but then the app looked like it had posted two. So I was like, oh, I'll just delete the old one. And then it deleted both. And I'm just like, and I'm like, I guess, tell me you're a newbie without telling me you're a newbie.
But that whole explanation you did on social media has almost 500,000 viewers.
Oh, yeah, and I don't know. Again, I'm figuring this out with engagement and all that. I've had a lot of people respond to that tweet saying like, "Oh, we're here for it. We're waiting for it," and it's like, well, I posted it about 10 minutes after.
But don't people. Don't.
You can't cater to everyone, right? I guess. You can bring a horse to water.
And some people type before they look. Some people will type a response before they look or even think.
Have you ever done that, John?
Only on days that end in Y.
I've heard that from my mother a few times. Think before you speak.
I'm being compared to Alec's mother.
No.
Alex,
which is not a bad thing, but there, it's a little ageist.
Has Mom recorded the video and sent it to you?
No, as a matter of fact, she has not recorded me of my recording and sent it back to me, which is probably, I don't know. I've been on Do Not Disturb since I've been on the podcast, so perhaps she sent it to me already this morning. But
cool stuff, buddy. I'm really excited for it. It was something that when you brought the idea up, I thought, geez, you're right. We don't have any of that in our game, like some of the Baldinger and a few of the football guys do. And I love watching those because I learn about football. I'm not a football guy, but it makes me feel like I understand it. So this opens up to an audience that maybe is untapped right now, or that novice audience. So keep it going. We can't wait to continue to follow it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Maybe I'll drop another one soon.
Wink.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. Once you commit to this, there's going to be an expectation.
Yeah, that has also been looming in the back of my mind, and I'm a tad bit worried about it.
Great way to wrap up the week. Again,
how about just do one a week? Do one a week.
Yes. I think one a week's perfect.
One a week.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I think 2 a week is a little heavy-handed, but like the one
start with one, and the more comfortable you get, maybe you do one plus a bonus one, and then when you got that Windows program down pat, and maybe you can do 3.
Yeah, especially if my videos are 6 minutes long. That I don't think anyone wants 12 minutes a week of Alec Martinez, but 6 minutes is like the sweet spot.
There you go.
And when you get up running, you got a staff. They'll just do it for you.
Hey, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here, Daren. Yeah, let's be reminded. I'm on the bottom of the totem pole.
A Martinez _27 and check out the breakdown of the goal and continue to follow him for more product when it comes to taking you inside the game. Thanks to Alec Martinez. Thanks to Billy Jaffe for joining us earlier. And John Shannon, have a great weekend, my friend. Stay safe up there in Toronto with Snowmageddon on the way.
Well, just like Alex's mother, who will be digging out of the snow in Michigan, I'll be digging out of snow in Ontario.
Is she in
I'll
Florida?
be at the beach in LA. Yeah, my mom's in Florida, but I actually did get a notification from back home that there was, like alarmingly frigid temperatures and to act accordingly. So
act accordingly. Frigid temperatures in California. Yeah.
Take care of that beach out there.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Talk to everybody next week on 100% Hockey with Millard and Shannon.